In the depths of human imagination, there exists a figure so profound, so complex, and yet so shrouded in mystery, that his very name sends shivers down the spine of the faithful and the skeptic alike. He is the morning star, the bringer of light, the fallen one, and the embodiment of rebellion against the divine. He is Lucifer, the one who dared to challenge the authority of God. But what drove this angelic being to such defiance? What spark within him ignited the flames of dissent that would change the course of history? To understand this, we must delve into the very essence of his story, a tale that weaves through the fabric of biblical lore, philosophical discourse, and the eternal struggle between free will and divine providence. The story of Lucifer, as we know it, begins in the heavens, among the host of angels created by God. He was not just any angel, but the most beautiful, the most intelligent, and the most beloved of all. His name, Lucifer, which means light-bearer in Latin, signifies his role as the shining star among the celestial bodies, the one who brought light to the darkness. He was the favorite of God, the one who stood closest to the divine throne, and the one who was entrusted with the greatest responsibilities. But with great power comes great pride, and it was this pride that would eventually become the downfall of Lucifer. As the most intelligent and the most beautiful, he began to see himself as equal, if not superior, to God. He started to question the authority of the divine, to wonder why he, who was capable of such greatness, should be subservient to anyone. These seeds of rebellion were sown in the heart of Lucifer, and they grew with each passing moment. He began to rally the other angels, to whisper in their ears, and to sow discord among the heavenly host. He promised them power, freedom, and autonomy if they would only join him in his quest against God. And so, the great rebellion began, a war that would shake the very foundations of heaven and hell. Lucifer, with his charisma and his beauty, was able to convince a significant portion of the angels to join his cause. Together, they marched against God, seeking to overthrow the divine authority and establish a new order, with Lucifer as the supreme ruler. But God, who is all-knowing and all-powerful, was not caught off guard. He knew of Lucifer's plans, and he was prepared to deal with the rebellion. The war in heaven was fierce and intense, with both sides suffering heavy losses. In the end, it was God who emerged victorious, and Lucifer, along with his followers, was cast out of heaven and into the depths of hell. And so, the fallen angel, once the most beloved of God, became the embodiment of evil, the prince of darkness, and the ruler of the underworld. But the story of Lucifer does not end there. His rebellion against God had far-reaching consequences, not just for the angels, but for humanity as well. According to biblical lore, Lucifer, now known as Satan, tempted Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, leading them to disobey God's command and eat the forbidden fruit. This act of disobedience brought sin into the world, and with it, suffering, death, and separation from God. And so, the rebellion of Lucifer against God became the catalyst for the fall of humanity and the beginning of a long and arduous journey towards redemption. The story of Lucifer raises profound questions about the nature of good and evil, free will, and divine providence. Was Lucifer's rebellion against God a necessary act, one that brought about the freedom and autonomy that humanity enjoys today? Or was it a selfish and misguided act, one that brought about suffering and chaos? These are questions that have puzzled theologians, philosophers, and scholars for centuries, and ones that continue to intrigue us to this day. As we delve deeper into the story of Lucifer, we will explore these questions and more. We will examine the biblical account of his rebellion, the philosophical implications of his actions, and the cultural significance of his legend. We will also look at the ways in which the story of Lucifer has been retold and reinterpreted throughout history, in literature, art, and popular culture. From John Milton's Paradise Lost to modern-day depictions of the devil in film and television, the figure of Lucifer continues to fascinate and inspire us. The story of Lucifer is a complex and multifaceted one, full of twists and turns, contradictions and paradoxes. It is a story that challenges our assumptions, pushes us to think critically, and invites us to ponder the deeper mysteries of existence. As we embark on this journey, we will encounter many surprises, many revelations, and many insights that will challenge our understanding of the world and our place within it. So, join me as we explore the fascinating story of Lucifer, the angel who rebelled against God, and discover the profound implications of his actions for ourselves, for humanity, and for the world we live in today. As we explore this story, we will also examine the psychological and emotional motivations that drove Lucifer to rebel against God. What was it about his personality, his character, and his experiences that led him to challenge the divine authority? Was it a desire for power, a need for recognition, or a sense of injustice? By understanding the motivations behind Lucifer's actions, we can gain a deeper insight into the human condition and the ways in which our own desires, needs, and fears can lead us to make choices that have far-reaching consequences. Furthermore, we will also look at the ways in which the story of Lucifer has been used throughout history to explain the existence of evil in the world. How has the figure of Lucifer been used to symbolize the forces of darkness, chaos, and destruction? How has his legend been used to justify war, violence, and oppression? And how has his story been used to inspire hope, redemption, and personal transformation? By examining the ways in which the story of Lucifer has been used and interpreted throughout history, we can gain a deeper understanding of the power of myth and legend to shape our perceptions, our beliefs, and our values. In conclusion, the story of Lucifer is a rich and complex one, full of fascinating characters, intriguing plot twists, and profound themes. As we delve deeper into this story, we will encounter many surprises, many revelations, and many insights that will challenge our understanding of the world and our place within it. So, join me as we embark on this journey and discover the fascinating story of Lucifer, the angel who rebelled against God, and the profound implications of his actions for ourselves, for humanity, and for the world we live in today. With this introduction, we have set the stage for a journey that will take us to the depths of heaven and hell and back again, as we explore the eternal struggle between good and evil, free will and divine providence, and the ultimate question of what it means to be human. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the universe, we find ourselves in the midst of a grand drama, with characters that have been etched into the fabric of our collective consciousness. The story of Lucifer, the fallen angel, is one that has captivated human imagination for centuries, and it is a tale that continues to unfold with each passing moment. With the stage set, we can now begin to explore the intricacies of this epic narrative and the events that led to the rebellion of the morning star. In the beginning, Lucifer was the most beautiful and radiant of all the angels, with a brilliance that rivaled the sun itself. He was the favorite of God and the leader of the heavenly host, with a voice that was like music to the ears of the divine. But as time passed, Lucifer began to feel a sense of discontent, a growing sense of dissatisfaction with the role that had been assigned to him. He felt constrained by the limitations of his position and the lack of freedom to exercise his own will. He began to wonder if there was more to existence than the narrow confines of heaven, and if the Creator had not made a mistake in granting him such immense power and beauty. As these thoughts swirled in his mind, Lucifer started to notice the other angels, and how they seemed to be content with their roles, never questioning the will of God. He saw how they would blindly follow the divine plan, without ever stopping to consider their own desires or aspirations. This realization sparked a sense of anger and frustration within Lucifer, and he began to feel a sense of superiority over his fellow angels. He saw himself as the only one who truly understood the nature of reality, and the only one who was brave enough to challenge the status quo. With this newfound sense of self-importance, Lucifer started to gather a following of like-minded angels, who were also dissatisfied with their roles in heaven. They would meet in secret, discussing their grievances and sharing their dreams of a different kind of existence. They spoke of a world where angels were free to make their own choices and to forge their own paths, without the interference of a divine overlord. They spoke of a world where they could be their own masters and where they could create their own destiny. As the movement gained momentum, Lucifer became more and more bold, openly challenging the authority of God and questioning the wisdom of the divine plan. He argued that the Creator was flawed, and that the universe was not perfect, but rather a work in progress. He claimed that the angels had the power to create their own perfection, and that they should not be bound by the limitations of heaven. His words were like a poison, spreading quickly through the ranks of the angels, and infecting even the most loyal of followers. The tension between Lucifer and God continued to build, until finally, the morning star made his move. With a cry of defiance, he rallied his followers and launched a rebellion against the throne of heaven. The war that ensued was fierce and brutal, with angels fighting on both sides, and the very fabric of reality hanging in the balance. The sound of clashing steel and the cries of the fallen echoed through the halls of heaven as the fate of the universe was decided. In the end, Lucifer and his followers were cast out of heaven, thrown into the depths of hell, where they would remain for eternity. But even in defeat, the morning star refused to surrender, and he continued to plot and scheme, seeking a way to overthrow God and reclaim his rightful place in the universe. And so, the story of Lucifer continues, a tale of rebellion and defiance, of good and evil, and of the eternal struggle between free will and divine providence. As we reflect on the story of Lucifer, we are forced to confront the darker aspects of our own nature and the desires that lie within us. We are reminded that the line between good and evil is not always clear-cut, and that even the most well-intentioned of actions can have unintended consequences. We are also reminded that the struggle for power and control is a fundamental aspect of the human condition, and that it is a struggle that has been waged throughout the ages. The story of Lucifer is a complex and multifaceted one, with layers of meaning and symbolism that are waiting to be uncovered. It is a story that challenges us to think critically about the world around us, and to question the assumptions that we have made about the nature of reality. It is a story that invites us to explore the depths of our own hearts, and to confront the fears and doubts that lie within us. And it is a story that reminds us that, no matter how dark the journey may seem, there is always hope, and always a chance for redemption and forgiveness. As we continue on our journey, we will delve deeper into the mysteries of the universe, and explore the many themes and motifs that are woven throughout the story of Lucifer. We will examine the symbolism of the morning star and the ways in which it has been used throughout history to represent both good and evil. We will look at the ways in which the story of Lucifer has been interpreted and reinterpreted over the centuries, and the many different meanings that have been assigned to it. And we will explore the ways in which the story of Lucifer continues to resonate with us today, and the many ways in which it continues to shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. As we delve deeper into the story of Lucifer, we begin to see that his rebellion against God is not just a simple tale of good versus evil, but a complex exploration of the human condition. It's a story that has been retold and reinterpreted over the centuries, and the many different meanings that have been assigned to it. And we will explore the ways in which the story of Lucifer continues to resonate with us today, and the many ways in which it continues to shape our understanding of the world and our place within it. The story of Lucifer's rebellion is often seen as a cautionary tale about the dangers of pride and ambition. Lucifer, once the most beautiful and powerful of all the angels, becomes so enamored with his own abilities and status that he begins to see himself as equal to God. He becomes convinced that he can do a better job of ruling the universe, and that God is holding him back. This sense of self-importance and entitlement ultimately leads to his downfall, as he is cast out of heaven and forced to navigate the complexities of the human world. But the story of Lucifer is more than just a warning about the dangers of pride. It's also a powerful exploration of the nature of free will and the human condition. Lucifer's rebellion is a symbol of the universal human desire for autonomy and self-determination. He rejects the idea that he must simply follow God's rules, and instead chooses to forge his own path. This desire for freedom and independence is something that we can all relate to, and it's a theme that continues to resonate with us today. As we consider the story of Lucifer, we are forced to confront our own desires and motivations. What drives us to make the choices that we do? Are we seeking power and status, Or are we driven by a desire to do good and make a positive impact on the world? The story of Lucifer encourages us to examine our own values and priorities and to consider the potential consequences of our actions. The story of Lucifer also raises important questions about the nature of morality and the role of religion in our lives. Is morality something that is imposed upon us by a higher power, or is it something that we must create for ourselves? The story of Lucifer suggests that morality is not simply a matter of following rules and regulations, but rather a complex and nuanced aspect of human experience. It encourages us to think critically about our own moral values and to consider the ways in which they shape our interactions with the world around us. As we reflect on the story of Lucifer, we are reminded that the line between good and evil is often blurry and indistinct. Lucifer is not simply a one-dimensional villain, but a complex and multifaceted character with his own motivations and desires. He is a symbol of the universal human capacity for both good and evil, and a reminder that we all have the potential to make choices that can have profound consequences. The story of Lucifer continues to resonate with us today, and it remains a powerful and enduring symbol of the human condition. It's a reminder that we all have the power to choose our own path, and that the choices we make can have far-reaching consequences. It's a call to action, encouraging us to think critically about our own values and priorities, and to consider the ways in which we can make a positive impact on the world around us. So what can we learn from the story of Lucifer? Perhaps the most important lesson is the importance of humility and compassion. Lucifer's rebellion is ultimately a result of his own pride and arrogance, and his failure to consider the perspectives and needs of others. As we navigate our own lives and make our own choices, we would do well to remember the dangers of unchecked ego and ambition. We would do well to cultivate a sense of humility and compassion, and to consider the ways in which our actions may impact those around us. The story of Lucifer also reminds us of the importance of forgiveness and redemption. Despite his rebellion against God, Lucifer is not beyond redemption. He is a symbol of the universal human capacity for growth and change, and a reminder that we all have the power to transform our lives and make amends for past mistakes. As we reflect on our own lives and choices, we would do well to remember the possibility of forgiveness and redemption, and to consider the ways in which we can make positive changes in our own lives. In conclusion, the story of Lucifer is a complex and multifaceted tale that continues to resonate with us today. It's a story that encourages us to think critically about our own values and priorities, and to consider the ways in which we can make a positive impact on the world around us. It's a call to action, reminding us of the importance of humility, compassion, and forgiveness. As we reflect on the story of Lucifer, we are reminded that we all have the power to choose our own path, and that the choices we make can have far-reaching consequences. So let us choose to cultivate a sense of humility and compassion, and to consider the ways in which we can make a positive difference in the world. Let us choose to forgive ourselves and others, and to seek redemption for our past mistakes. And let us choose to remember the story of Lucifer and the powerful lessons that it has to teach us about the human condition.